The Bible said so much about money and wealth creation that if you heed, you are not only going to get rich, but you are going to be able to preserve your wealth and also live a well balanced and a fulfilled life. Welcome, this is Dr. Obed, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 6 money lessons from the Bible that will help you become rich, have a very good relationship with money, and live a balanced and a fulfilled life. Now, let's dive in. Number 1 is the 20% rule. You see, during one of the first ever recorded global economic meltdown, Egypt was then world superpower. God wanted to preserve his people from the effects of this global economic crash. So he gave Pharaoh a dream, which was later interpreted by Joseph, who was brought out from the prison. The interpretation of the dream was that there was going to be 7 years of plenty, of abundance, followed by 7 years of scarcity, that's famine. And the solution to this was found in what Joseph said to Pharaoh in Genesis chapter 41, verse 34. It said, "Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land to collect 1/5 of the produce of the land of Egypt in the 7 plentiful years." So the solution was to collect and save 1/5, that is 20% of all the produce of the land of Egypt during these 7 plentiful years. Of course, they did as God instructed. They saved up 20% during the 7 years of plenty. And then during the 7 years of scarcity, they not only survived and thrived, but the Egyptian government also grew so much because people came and sold everything they had to the government in order to just get food. It went so bad that people even sold themselves to slavery just to get what to eat. And of course, the people of Israel, as represented by Joseph, didn't have any problem since Joseph was in charge of food distribution. What is the idea? The 20% rule says that if you can save 20% of your overall income, you can be able to survive and thrive during economic meltdown and also even build your wealth in the process. If you can save something that is available in seasons during when it is plentiful and people are extravagant with it, when it becomes scarce, people are going to come to you with products and assets more valuable than it in order to get it from you. Also, it underscores the importance of liquidity, that is, having cash saved up. It is said that cash is king. When you have cash available, when people are in distress or in emergency situations, they are going to come with their products, their properties, and their assets way more valuable in order to get cash from you. In time of distress, the person who has what everyone is looking for is the person who increases in wealth, because he will have a lot of good deals from people who are willing to drastically reduce the value of what they have in order to get what they are looking for. So if you can save 20% of your income or even less, you are going to put yourself in a position where you will not only survive and thrive during economic crash, you also have the opportunity to buy up assets from people who are selling at ridiculously cheap prices. That is one way you can increase your wealth even inside economic crash. Number 2 is investment and diversification. In the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 1, he said, "Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. And verse 6 says, in the morning sow your seed, and in the evening do not withhold your hand, for you do not know which will prosper, either this or that, or whether both alike will be good. This place underscores the importance of investment. You see, investment is not vehicle that you can put your money and get it back after many days. You see, the Bible is telling you to delay gratification. Cast your bread that you would normally eat, and then after many days, you can be sure to get it back. That is what investment does. To further buttress it, it said, in the morning sow your seed, in the evening do not withhold your hand, for you do not know which of them is going to come good. That means invest and keep investing. Do not just invest once and get tired. Get a hang on this investing thing and know what exactly you are doing. That is one way to build wealth and increase your portfolio. And while investing, do not forget to diversify your portfolio. In verse 2 of it, it said, give a serving to 7 and to 8, for you do not know what evil will be upon the earth. This calls for diversification, not putting all your eggs in one basket. So it's important that as you invest, do not invest all your money in just one thing, especially something that you are not very sure and very knowledgeable about. So try to diversify your investment and spread the risk, so that in case any particular investment performs poorly, you do not get wiped out entirely. You can also survive any market fluctuations. So the Bible teaches to invest it wisely and diversify your investments. Number 3 is business over fixed deposits. In one of the very popular parables that Jesus gave, the parable of the talents, he talked about a master who gave talents, that is money, to 3 of his servants as he was traveling. He gave one of them 5 talents, and to the next he gave 3 talents, and to the last servant he gave 1 talent. It was stated that the ones he gave 5 talents and the one he gave 3 talents, they went and traded and doubled the money. Of course, their master was pleased with them and even rewarded them. While to the one he gave 1 talent, he went and hid that talent somewhere, and when the master returned, he brought that 1 talent back to the master, accusing him of being greedy. The lesson is found in what the master told this wicked servant in the book of Matthew chapter 25 verse 27. It says, so you ought to have deposited my money with the bankers, and at my coming I would have received back my own with interest. You see, the idea is you should have traded with this money. That is what I gave it to you to do. But at the very least, if you could not trade with it, you should have at least put it in a fixed deposit account where I can get some interest from it when I come. But the worst thing that you did was putting it in an account that does not appreciate at all. So that is to say, that is a graduation from the best thing he could have done with the money to the worst thing he did with the money. The lesson is that business is the best thing to do with your money. Like the Bible said, he gave them these talents according to their several abilities, that is, their capacities. So trading with your money, doing business with it, especially in your area of ability, is the best thing to do with your money. Is the best way and the fastest way to increase your money. If you cannot do that, the next best thing is putting it in a fixed deposit account where you will at least be getting interests. And of course, there are some other instruments like the stock market, mutual funds, treasury bills, and bonds that will pay you some interest, maybe not as much as your business, but definitely better than the worst thing, which is putting your money in a savings account that does not appreciate in value. Actually, money in your savings account is depreciating due to inflation. So even if you bring out start money years later, it's the same amount, but the value have drastically reduced due to inflation. So keeping your money in a savings account is the worst thing to do with that money. Number fourth lesson is to have a means of livelihood before starting a family. You see, in the book of Proverbs chapter 24 verse 27, it said, prepare your outside work, make it fit for yourself in the field, and afterward build your house and establish your home. Starting a family, that is getting married and probably having children later, is one of the most financially demanding things that you're going to do, especially when you have children. And with children, the more they are, the more the responsibilities. You have to look for a way to take care of not just yourself, but your spouse and your children, your growing family. It requires serious financial efforts. Like the Bible said, establish your outside work and make it stable first. Have a reliable means of livelihood before you start a home. It's like what the Bible said, what Jesus said. Who is it that wants to build a house that doesn't first sit down to count the cost if what he has is able to finish that project? You see, starting a family is a huge project. Finance is one of the greatest causes of stress in marriage and even divorce. If you do not handle this aspect very well before you go into marriage, you are setting yourself up for failure and disaster. This can also go in the area of projects. Have a stable source of income before you start a project. For example, build a house, like some translations said. Before you build a house, have a stable source of income. Make sure that you settle the financial aspects. Do not start a project without first having a stable income source and knowing exactly how money is going to come for you to continue and finish this project. Because without a solid plan, you are most definitely going to fail. It is very important to have a financial plan, both for your family and also for any project that you are embarking on that requires finance, which almost every project does. Number five, contentment over covetousness. You see, the Bible teaches contentment as against covetousness. You see, in the book of Luke chapter 12 verse 15, it says, and he said to them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life does not consist in the abundance of things he possesses. It teaches against covetousness, which in another place is called the love of money. In 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10 of it, it says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some have coveted after, is still covetousness. They have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Covetousness is the love of money, and the Bible teaches against it. This is what makes a lot of persons to do many illegal and unethical things for money, going even to the extent of undoing people, deceiving people, even killing people. Covetousness is what makes people divert public funds that is meant for building of roads and good hospitals, thereby leading indirectly to the loss of many lives without it touching them at all. Jesus said that a man's life does not consist of the abundance of things which he possesses. This is an irony, because ordinarily a man's life is measured by his net worth, which is basically his assets and his material possessions. But when Jesus said a man's life is not made of what he owns, it means that there is much more to life than money. There are other things that are as well important that make for a well-rounded and a successful and fulfilled life, which money is just one of them. There is health, there is relationship with God, with other people, there is a good name, there is peace of mind. So a man should not trade his soul for money. One should rather learn to be content. You see, contentment is different from satisfaction. In satisfaction, you are full and you do not want more. But in contentment, you are not necessarily satisfied. You may want more, and you may even do everything within your power to want more, to get to the next level. But you genuinely enjoy where you are and you are appreciative of what you have. Your eye is not in the other person's own that is bigger or better than yours. You are not intending to deceive, to undo, or to even kill the person to take what he has and add to your own. That is contentment. You are enjoying the whole process of getting to the top, but you are appreciative of where you are and you enjoy genuinely what you have, such that the other person's own does not make you feel bad at what you have and where you are. So the Bible teaches contentment, which is why in verse 10 of that First Timothy chapter 6, it says, "For godliness and contentment is great gain." Covetousness, which is the love of money, is the root of all evil. Number 6 is generosity over selfishness. You see, the Bible teaches so much about giving and generosity. In the book of Acts chapter 20 verse 34, it says that it is more blessed to give than to receive. And in Luke chapter 6 verse 38, it says, "Give, it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall men give unto your bosom." The Bible places so much emphasis on giving. There are different types of giving. There is the offering, there is the tithe, there is giving to the poor, there is seed to the prophets, there is giving for projects, and a lot more. But the central truth is that giving increases the blessing and your capacity to receive. It increases your capacity to make money. In Proverbs 11:35, it says, "He that watereth shall be watered, and the liberal soul shall be made fat." You see, there is this fatness, enlargement of heart that happens with giving. It increases your capacity and opens you up to abundance, the mentality of abundance, and the ability to do more, to receive more, and to make more money. So giving blesses you and increases your receiving potential. Even psychologically, giving, especially to philanthropy, there is this feel good effect. People say it's like the best feeling in the world, giving to people in need. There is that wonderful feeling when you are genuinely helping somebody that is in need. It's unquantifiable. That feeling alone increases your joy and allows you to do more with life. So giving is an avenue to express yourself, to express your love for people, for God, and for anything that you love. Giving is one way you express that love. And as you give, you increase your capacity to receive money, to receive ideas, to receive inspiration on how to grow and how to move to the next level of your life. That is it on the 6 major money lessons from the Bible. Please do subscribe to this channel and see you in the next video. Thank you.